Although the month of September is dedicated to Our Lady of Sorrows, today we officially celebrate her feast, a reminder not of gloom, but of deep hope. Mary's sorrows hold life giving meaning, for in her courage to share in the suffering of her son, Jesus, we find inspiration and strength for our own journey of faith. Speaking of the women who stood with Jesus at the crucifixion, William Barclay observed that it was always a dangerous thing to be associated with someone whom the Roman government judged to be dangerous, so dangerous that he deserved a cross. It is always risky act of love to stand by someone whom the Orthodox regard as a heretic. The presence of these women at the cross was not because they were insignificant or unnoticed, but because perfect love casts out fear. For Mary, the mother of Jesus, being at the crucifixion was the most natural act of all. For a mother's love cannot abandon her child. Jesus may have been condemned as a criminal by the law, but he was her son. Her love was greater than any force that might have kept her away. A few years ago, my cousin's husband was dying. I longed to visit him, but I dreaded the encounter. I feared our time together would be filled with weeping, and I worried that my presence might deepen his sorrow rather than bring comfort. Questions trouble me. How will I bear his pain? Will I only make things worse? Through much prayer, and by drawing inspiration from Mother Mary standing by her son at the cross, I gathered the courage to go and visit. To my surprise, the visit became an encounter filled with love. Yes, there were tears, but there was also joy, laughter, deep bonding, and the warmth of shared presence. My cousin's face shone with radiance as we spent time together. Love gave way to consolation, and God's presence filled our conversation. As disciples of Jesus, are we not called to share in the sufferings of others? Just as Jesus comes to lift our burdens, we too are invited to stand with others in their pain, to support, to console, and sometimes just to simply be present. Even when we cannot take away their sorrow, we are there with them. Amen.